What's up, everyone? Today, we're diving deep into a story that shook the entire rap world. A story of two Dallas titans whose paths crossed and ended in tragedy. We're talking about the long, complicated history between Yella Beezy and Mo3. I'm going to lay out the timeline, sticking to the facts and separating what's documented from what's street talk. To understand this, you gotta understand Dallas. In the mid-2010s, two stars were rising from the same pressure cooker. From North Dallas, you had Mo3, whose real name was Melvin Noble. He dropped his first Shotaz tape in 2014 and quickly got known for that raw, soulful pain music. It felt like church and the trap all at once. Then, from Oak Cliff, you had Yella Beezy, Marquis DeAndre Conway. He started making noise around 2015, but blew up nationally with That's On Me in 2017. Both were becoming local legends, chasing the same radio plays, the same club spins, and the same fans. Some reports say the tension started way back then, over typical street stuff, competition, maybe a woman, but that's all speculation. What we know for sure is that by the time they were both household names in Dallas, the air was thick. A huge part of this story is neighborhood politics. In Dallas, where you're from matters. Yella Beezy has always been vocal about repping Oak Cliff. But as his star rose, rumors started swirling with people allegedly including Mo3 and his circle, questioning how authentic his ties to the neighborhood really were. In rap, that kind of talk is like throwing gasoline on a fire. It's all about perception, and the perception was that respect was on the line. The first major public flashpoint involved a comedian named Roy Lee Pate, who was friends with Mo3. Around 2017, Roy Lee publicly joked about Yella Beezy and questioned his Oak Cliff roots. Later that year, Roy Lee was shot in North Dallas. He survived the initial attack but tragically passed away in 2018 from complications. Now, to be crystal clear, Yella Beezy was never charged or named as a suspect in that shooting. But in Mo3's mind, the lines were drawn. On his 2019 track 219, he all but pointed the finger at Beezy's camp for having a role in what happened to his friend. That's not a legal fact, but once you put an accusation like that on a record, there's no taking it back. The beef was officially on wax. From there, it became a full-blown war of words. Mo3 dropped a track called Let Me Find Out, which was widely seen and even labeled online as a direct Yella Beezy diss. He'd weave subliminal shots into his songs and interviews, talking about rappers who faked where they were from. For his part, Yella Beezy played it cool in the mainstream. In a 2019 Vlad TV interview, when asked about Mo3, he acted like he'd never even heard of him. So you had this weird split. Online and on records, it was clear disrespect, but in major interviews, it was all denial. Usually, when things get denied that hard, it means the situation is way deeper than it looks. And soon, the beef spilled off the records and into real life. The violence wasn't just in the lyrics anymore. In October 2018, Yella Beezy was driving on a tollway when his car was riddled with bullets. He was hit multiple times but miraculously survived. No one was ever officially tied to that shooting, but in a city divided by the beef, fans drew their own conclusions. Then, about a year later, Mo3 was also shot. He survived and told his fans he was okay, but the pattern was undeniable. Diss tracks, neighborhood tension, and now, real gunfire. It was clear this wasn't just about rap anymore. Then, on November 11, 2020, the story took its darkest turn. Mo3 was driving down Interstate 35E in Dallas during broad daylight. Another car started following him. He stopped his vehicle, got out, and tried to run for his life. A gunman chased him on foot across the highway and shot him multiple times. Mo3 was pronounced dead at the hospital. He was only 28. The news sent shockwaves through hip-hop. Mo3 was a national star, known for hits like Everybody and Outside. At the time, the focus was on finding his unknown killer. The beef with Beezy was whispered about online, but there was no official link. Within a month, police made their first arrest. In December 2020, a man named Kewan Dontrell White was charged with Mo3's murder. A few months later, in April 2021, another man, Devin Morris Brown, was also indicted in connection with the case. Even with these arrests, the streets and the internet kept speculating that the beef with Yella Beezy was the root cause. But for years, his name was never officially mentioned by law enforcement in relation to the murder. During this time, Yella Beezy was having his own run-ins with the law for unrelated issues, facing weapon and drug charges, many of which were later dismissed or no-billed. These headlines painted a picture of an artist constantly in trouble, but legally, he was clearing his name on those specific cases. Meanwhile, the question of who was truly behind Mo3's death remained, at least in the public eye, unanswered beyond the two initial suspects. And then, in March of 2025, a bombshell dropped. After years of rumors, a Dallas County grand jury indicted Yella Beezy on a capital murder charge. The indictment alleges that he orchestrated a murder-for-hire plot, paying Kewan White to kill Mo3. On March 20, 2025, Yella Beezy was arrested and booked into jail, with bond set at $2 million. That was the moment years of street whispers and online theories became a formal, legal accusation from the state of Texas. It's crucial to state he has since been released on bond and is currently awaiting trial. Under the law, he is presumed innocent until proven guilty. Looking back, you can see the tragic path. A local rivalry turned into a war over neighborhood pride. Diss tracks and subliminals escalated the tension. Then came the shootings, where both artists became victims of violence. It all culminated in the highway shooting that took Mo3's life, and now, the murder-for-hire charge that puts Yella Beezy's own life and freedom on the line. In the wake of his passing, Mo3's legacy has only grown. His posthumous album, Shotas Forever, hit the Billboard charts, and his music continues to touch millions. He's remembered as one of the most authentic voices to ever come out of Dallas. As for Yella Beezy, he's in legal limbo, still making music, but with the gravest of charges hanging over his head. It's a devastating story of how two immense talents from the same city, who could have been a legendary collaboration, are now forever linked by conflict and tragedy. This story is far from over, and until a verdict is reached in court, we can only reflect on the path that led us here. Thank you for watching. If you found this breakdown informative, make sure to like this video and hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into the stories shaping our culture. Stay safe out there.